took them seriously. Maybe we should have. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Better to start at the beginning, with the abduction of Desmond Miles, my son. This boy had no ambition, no direction, no plans for the future. What he did have was a heritage, one he chose to deny. It nearly cost him his life. He was captured and imprisoned. Those who took him believed he could help them find something. The apple. One of several artifacts we call pieces of Eden. Bits of ancient technology scattered across the globe. Some hidden, some found, all of them dangerous. Most are held by a single group, the same group that now had Desmond. You know them as Abstergo Industries. We know them as the Templars, as the enemy. We've been fighting them for thousands of years, even longer if you believe the stories of their origins. I do. After all, I've seen the truth. That's the beauty and the horror of the Animus. A device that allows us to enter and experience the lives of our ancestors. It holds the power to change everything, to show us history the way it really happened. Up until its creation, to the victor went the spoils, went the truth. We're trying to fix that, to free minds and bodies both. But there's only so much that we can do, and the Templars have the upper hand these days. But something larger than the Assassins and Templars is approaching, bigger than all of us. And if we can't find a way to stop it, these next few weeks will probably be our last. Everyone's last. In the end, it all comes down to him. To Desmond. Through the Animus, he discovered his heritage, explored the lives of his ancestors, and uncovered their secrets. When that was done, he trained. He used another ancestor to provide decades of experience in the span of a few days. It worked. We think. We hope. Soon, though, soon we'll know. That ominous date fast approaches, December 21st, 2012. None of us knows what it'll bring, only that this is where they want us to be, when it does. They've been guiding us in their own fractured, frustrating way. These voices from the first civilization, the ones who came before, a precursor race of immense power and uncertain motives. They're the ones who made the pieces of Eden. This is where they've led him, and through him, us. He stands at the entrance to this long-lost place, armed with the knowledge of Altair and the abilities of Ezio. He holds in his hands the apple of Eden, and we stand at his side, ready to support him however we can. His name is Desmond Miles, and he has brought us to the end.
Welcome everybody, Josh here back at you today once again with a brand new and special product review. Today we're talking about this, which is Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered on the PlayStation 4, the PS5, the Xbox Series S and X through backwards compatibility. Now this game originally released on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. This is one of my all-time favorite games in the Assassin's Creed franchise, and I think that Assassin's Creed 3, along with the original Desmond Miles games, are some of my all-time favorite video games ever made. And I think that with the release of Assassin's Creed 3, we got a really cool, new, and unique setting for this location. This location is no longer in Europe. We are now in the Americas in the 1700s. You get to explore the open world narrative of Boston as well as New York. As Nathan Kenway in the beginning of the game, we learned that he is actually a Templar, which was a big what the fuck kind of moment in the Assassin's Creed franchise. The Assassin's Creed franchise is known for these really big, ambitious scales of their setting as well as their what the F moments in the games, and this was one of them. Before this, you never gotten to play as a Templar. Before, Nathan Kenway is someone that is trying to go from Europe to America to try and get a better life as well as join the Templar Order. The Templar Order is something that has been in battle between the assassins for a while now. You get to experience that once more in terms of the setting of this game as well. The big expanses of this frontier are really cool to explore, as well as Connor Kenway. Connor Kenway is this Native American who's trying to figure out what his past was, while also dealing with the fact that there's this overarching threat looms in the distance. He can't really see it at first, but then eventually over time, once he gets close to the Apple of Eden, he realizes what the precursor race is kind of dealing with and what they're trying to preserve, that the reason why heroes fight for humanity's survival later on in the end of the game. And I think that the Civil War aspect of this is really cool. Like I said before, you get to go to Boston and New York City. There's 2 maps of this overarching narrative of the Assassin's Creed franchise, and I think that getting to see really cool historical figures like George Washington, Samuel Adams, and the different key players in our ancient history was really interesting to see in this game. And while I didn't really like this game originally at the time, I grew to love this game over the years that have come after it. And I think that, Assassin's Creed 3 is on par with some of the other Assassin's Creed games like Odyssey and even Origins that just recently came out. And I think that if you're a huge Assassin's Creed fan, you want to learn a little bit more about American history, this is definitely the game for you. So what is this game about? Well, this game is about Connor Kenway. He's basically the new assassin. Desmond Miles works with the Animus in order to try and figure out what's going on in terms of the precursor race. They're trying to find these different vaults so that way they can hopefully save humanity from an apocalyptic threat. And the apocalyptic threat is a solar flare, and the solar flare is making its way towards Earth. It's the year 2012, actually December 21st, 2012, which is the supposed end times date, which eventually didn't happen. But Desmond Miles and his father are trying to avert a catastrophe, and while they're doing that, they have to go into the past, unlock the secrets of not only the Apple of Eden, but some of the different clues between the Masyaf key that Connor Kenway has in his disposal. And I think that getting to see a different version of who Connor Kenway is in terms of his character in the games, of even that of Ezio Auditore de Firenze, who's a charming, sarcastic character in the previous games. This game, Connor is a little bit whiny. He gets to see his village burned to the ground, which you understand why he's a little bit whiny in the opening act of this game, and then you grow to love him over time. This is a trope that a lot of these video games have done in the past, whether that's Devil May Cry or even the Star Wars universe, where they take this really whiny kid and eventually time you get to see him grow and mature into an actual adult. And I think that with Connor towards the end of this game, when he's actually working with his father, when his father and Connor are trying to figure out what's going on with the Templar and the Assassin Order, I think that that is a really cool moment in this game. You get to experience a lot of really cool and interesting settings, like the different battles that happened within the Civil War. You get to see a lot of really cool historical figures, like I said before, with George Washington, Samuel Adams, and a lot of different people that you would know from America's history. And a lot of really cool features take place within this game, such as the ability to traverse open distances while there's cannonballs shooting at you and people firing at you. You get to take characters in this game and use them as meat shields, which you couldn't do before, similar to that of Gears of War. And it's really cool to be able to roam the treetop Assassin's Creed as Connor Kenway. You can parkour on top of them as well as the buildings once again. And this game relies heavily on the use of maps as well as parkour. And there's not really an Assassin's Creed game like this out there where you have to utilize maps a lot, which did frustrate me while I was playing this game. Again, just because of the fact that while I did know that, the Assassin's Creed games typically rely on the use of maps, this game heavily uses them to the point where it's almost kind of sickening. And that's one of the things I really don't like about this game. Even though this game is ambitious in terms of the scale, the set pieces, the storytelling, this game are on par with all the other Assassin's Creed games. I really don't like the fact that this game relies on maps so much. The fast travel system where you hit a marker on a point in the map and you go to that, which does help, I guess, in terms of traversing this large open world environment. But with these other Assassin's Creed games, you could traverse this large landscape and do it pretty quickly, especially if you're good at the parkour, which takes some getting used to with this game. But I think this game really does the parkour better than even Assassin's Creed 2 or even Assassin's Creed Revelations for that matter, or Brotherhood, which I haven't really reviewed on this channel just because these games are massive in terms of size and scale, like I said before. But I think that if you're a returning fan to the Assassin's Creed franchise, you want to re-experience Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, I think that you have to set your bar a little bit lower in terms of the graphical fidelity of the game on the modern gen systems. This game is from 2012, so the graphics don't really look all that great, but I think that for me personally, graphics aren't everything. I kind of go back to some of my older games I really did like as a kid, and I'll go back and replay some of those games because they really do hold up in terms of the storytelling, and Assassin's Creed 3 is no exception to that rule. I think that the cheat sequence towards the end of this game, where you're hunting down one of the main bosses and you basically assassinate him and prevent the cataclysm that's happening towards the end of the game, it's really cool. The fact that you get to avenge Connor Kenway's village from the beginning, as well as his mother, was really important to the character in the overarching narrative, and I think that family for me is also important, so I can relate to Connor Kenway in that way, getting to see his entire world fall apart and then rise to the top of becoming one of the master assassins as well, like Ezio and Altair in the original Assassin's Creed games. Getting to see the war between the Templars, which are now the Redcoats, and the Assassin's Creed franchise, and Assassins, which are basically the good guys in this game, is a really easy way for new fans and old fans to get into the whole historical aspect of Assassin's Creed. And these games rely a lot on history, so you can use these games to learn about stuff that you probably never learn in books. While there isn't any tombs in this game that you can raid, there are forts that you can explore in this game, similar to that of the other Assassin's Creed games. And I really do like the aspect of this as an open world narrative, just because of the fact that it fits Assassin's Creed and you can easily get through this in a couple of days. One of the other really cool missions is you get to experience a massive battle sequence, and as Connor Kenway, you get to lead the charge of that. You get to run these troops into battle, and it's a really cool sequence that you'll eventually see some gameplay of in this video. A lot of this I recorded on the PlayStation 4 and PS5 version of this game, which is backwards compatible on both systems. And I think that for the price of $39.99, if you're buying this game pretty much brand new, you're not gonna be getting something that is is going to make you regret your purchase. And I think that as an original Assassin's Creed fan that kind of grew up with the Desmond Miles storyline, it's really cool to re-experience this game with a new light and see the story threads and the plot elements. Those are my overall thoughts and opinions of this game. I think that as someone that is a huge fan of these games who really likes the weapons mechanic, and the fact that you get a bow and arrow in this game, the fact that you get some different swords and unique weapons to kill your opponents with in this game, the fact that the parkour and the combat mechanics of this game are far more improved than even the previous Assassin's Creed games. I think that Assassin's Creed 3 really is one of those seminal moments in the Assassin's Creed franchise where it went from being about Desmond Miles and sort of the assassins, which you actually, in the previous game, got to meet Subject 16, got to explore different mysteries that were previously hinted at in the other Assassin's Creed games, and now in this game it's all coming into a conclusion. And so, I think that as part of the Assassin's Creed franchise, I really did like this experience. I wish that Ubisoft hadn't killed Desmond Miles, spoiler alert, at the end of this game, but I think that it was definitely necessary to kind of move on from this game to the future of the Assassin's Creed franchise. And I think that if you want to go back and re-explore the Nolan North era of the Assassin's Creed franchise, I would definitely recommend doing so. So I really don't give rating systems for my reviews, but if I was going to actually review this game and give it a rating system, I'd probably give this a solid 8 or 9 out of 10. I definitely don't think it's perfect by any stretch. There's definitely some problems, especially with the parkour. It's definitely not as refined as the later Assassin's Creed games. But I think that if you're a fan of the AC franchise, you want to go back to its past and re-experience this for yourselves. I really don't see there being any issues doing that with the modern era of the Assassin's Creed games or even the past ones. So let me know in the comment section down below what you think of Assassin's Creed 3. I know I didn't really talk about every single story thread in this game, but I want to kind of get my thoughts and opinions out there because I just recently played this awesome experience of a game, and I think that the Civil War setting is pretty cool. The fact that this game takes place, with the modern era, the unique and interesting storyline that was going on with that. I think that this game is definitely worth your time and energy. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of the Assassin's Creed franchise so far. What your favorite Assassin's Creed game, whether it's AC1, Brotherhood, or even Assassin's Creed 2 or Revelation, some of the spin-off games of the franchise, or even some of the mainline games. Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, rate, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next video. Peace out.
Yes. Come. Here, at last. You know our story now. Of how we tried. Of how we failed. All our hopes extinguished. Save one. Your touch. A spark. A spark to save the world.
Wait! Do not touch the pedestal.
Minerva?
You. But how? You left. You destroyed the device.
Did you think there was only one?
What the hell is going on here?
You must not free her.
Free her?
Juno dwells within these walls, awaiting release. I will explain. While we worked to save the world, she sought instead to conquer it. She used our machines to set her plans in motion. Divination through numbers. There is a pattern to existence. To comprehend the calculations is to tame time. This was my focus. And so I built the eye to aid us. But she turned it towards her own ends. When we discovered her treachery, we put a stop to it. And then we left. But first we called to you, that you might try again. We thought it would be safe with her gone. Now I see we were deceived. She survived, she endured, and then she began to work. For centuries, Tinia and I walked the world, hoping to rekindle the spark of civilization. We shared what we knew as best we could. We were not the only ones, but for all the power we wrought, still death would claim us. But before it did, I would have one last look to know if we had succeeded.
That's how you're here now?
I had hoped you might find this place and finish our work. But it is too late. You and the Templars have squabbled over our refuse. You have wasted centuries, and so you have lost your chance. You cannot hope to stop the end now, Desmond. Only to survive.
She's lying! Only touch the pedestal and the world will be saved.
Better the world burn than she be loosed upon it.
Is that so? Show him then.
But he will not understand. It is complicated. It is...
Show me.
If you heed Minerva, the sun will have its way. The ground will crack and spit fire into the skies. All the world will burn. But this does not end the world, merely heralds its arrival. Darkness follows. Then you emerge, resolving to lay a foundation that such a tragedy does not befall the world again. You will become a symbol to those who survive. Hope, knowledge, determination. You will inspire them to rebuild, to thrive once more. And as the world heals, so too will humanity. But you are just a man, frail and mortal. You pass from the world, leaving behind only a memory. A legacy. You will be remembered first as a hero, later as a legend, and in time, as a god. It is the cruelest fate, to have written words that meant well, and see them made wicked and unwise. What was meant to encourage life, used instead to justify taking it. And so now you see that what was shall be again. So tell me, how is this better? She would sacrifice you, sacrifice the world, for no other reason than to deny me vindication.
They will enslave your kind, Desmond. Is this not why you fight? Is this not why you came here? To ensure more than just your race's future, but its freedom?
What future? What freedom? Billions dead and the whole cycle begun anew? This world has known nothing but heartache and horror since we left it.
Our gift to them, and you'd see it all returned.
Enough!
You must not do this.
Whatever Juno's planning, however terrible it might seem today, we'll find a way to stop it. But the alternative, what you want, there's no hope there.
If you free her, you'll be destroyed.
It will happen in an instant. There will be no pain.
You mustn't.
It's done, Minerva. The decision's made.
Then the consequences of this mistake are yours to live and die with.
You need to go. All of you. Now. Get as far away from here as you can.
Come with us. We'll find another way.
There isn't time.
Son.
You know it's true. It's already started. I need to do this now. So go. Go!